Revelation chapter 9, verse 1. We saw in Revelation chapter 8 that the first 4 trumpets were blown, and it was pretty severe. The earth was receiving God's wrath. The third part of the trees was harmed. The grass was harmed. The third part of the sea was harmed. And so there was a lot of bad things happening. And as bad as it was, an angel at the end of chapter 8 says, "Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, for the last 3 trumpets are about to sound," which they are called woes, okay? Therefore, the 5th trumpet is the first woe, the 6th trumpet is the second woe, and the 7th trumpet is the third woe. And here we read in verse 1, "And the 5th angel sounded," this is the first woe, "and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth." Now, to me and to many others, this star is going to be, the star falling here from heaven, it's going to be a bad angel, okay? Not a good angel, a bad angel. The problem is that this happens after the Great Tribulation has already started, and we're probably into a year or 2 years into the 7-year Great Tribulation. So how is it that the star to begin was in heaven, when we know that at the beginning of the 7-year Great Tribulation, and we'll cover this in Revelation chapter 12, that the devil and his angels will be cast down to the earth, and they will no longer be able to go and accuse us before the Father in heaven, and this will happen at the very beginning of the 7-year Great Tribulation. So it seems like maybe there was an angel who stayed behind that didn't follow Satan, but God saw his heart and kicked him out of heaven and sent him unto the earth. If that is the case, then when he receives the key of the bottomless pit, he shows his true colors by opening up the bottomless pit and creating all this chaos and problems upon the earth. So it says, a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him, so it is a being, and we believe to be a fallen angel, which turns into a demon. To him was given the key of the bottomless pit, and some people think that this is the key of hell. No, it's the bottomless pit. We don't know exactly what the difference is here, but Jesus has the keys of hell and of death. This angel here was given the key of the bottomless pit. This could be interpreted as literally, perhaps the center of the earth, or perhaps, some type of pit on the earth, but certainly it does not say hell. Jesus has the power, or the key of hell and of death, and the key does mean power. By the way, notice this, he has the key to the bottomless pit, right? Yet he's a bad angel. Yet in Revelation chapter 20 verse 1 we read, "And I saw an angel," and this one does not fall, but instead I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit. And this is a good angel. So it was almost like the bad angel took it for a little bit, and by key it really means power. And then this good angel has the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand, and he's the one that's going to lay a hold on the dragon and bound him 1,000 years. So if we go back to verse 1 of chapter 9, he was giving the key or the power of the bottomless pit, okay? But later on, a good angel will have power over the bottomless pit. Verse 2, "And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit." See, this is not something that hell would do. This is something that something like a volcano would do, or if you cracked open the earth, smoke would come out of it. Smoke came out of the pit as the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And here's a picture so you can get an imagination of, well, probably what's going to happen, something like this. This is a fallen angel here, has the power over this pit. He opens it up. It's probably like a crack on the earth, or some kind of earthquake or something like that. Smoke comes out of it, but it gets stranger now. as we read, because it says, and there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. When you think of a scorpion, what do you think about? You think about the fact that it can sting you, right? And it's painful. Here you have a picture of what looks like the locust that'll have the tail like a scorpion here. Very strange looking creatures. The way they look is very strange, but I think we should focus on what they can do. Verse 4, and it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth. Locusts eat grass, well, or plants, right? This ones cannot. Neither any green thing. They can't eat any green thing. This probably means that they're probably not the typical locust out there. Neither any tree, but only those men, see, they're commanded to hurt men. Only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. And who are the men that have the seal of God in their foreheads? The 144,000 Jews that were sealed for their protection, as we saw in Revelation chapter 7. Okay, so they're supposed to hurt men, but not the ones that have the seal of God on their foreheads. And to them it was given that they should not kill them. See, they're going to sting people, but they're not allowed to kill them. Some people have said that those locusts are actual helicopters. Sorry, helicopters, if they shoot you, they're going to kill you. Okay? But that they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. So obviously these locusts are creatures that will probably get people very, very sick, and you'll be tormented with such horrible pain that you won't be able to withstand it. Verse 6, and in those days shall men seek death. And I believe this has to do with the fact that they got stung with those locusts. Those locusts stung them, and the pain is so unbearable that they shall seek death and shall not find it. That's even worse. They're like, can't find any satisfaction, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. Literally, death shall flee from them. What a horrible moment in time. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses. See, now we get into the shapes of how they look. Okay, prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men. And here's this picture: crowns like gold. They have this, incredible looking tail like a scorpion, wings. I mean, just strange looking creatures. As you look at these creatures, it's like, what in the world is this? It says, and they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions. Just bizarre looking creatures. And they had breastplates, as it were breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots. And this is where many people get the idea that it could be helicopters, because their sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle. And they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months. Very strange, very bizarre creatures. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit. Obviously that angel that fell was king over them, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. This is his name, but they're saying it's one name, but in the Greek tongue is Apollyon, in Hebrew is Abaddon. Okay. Now, just to conclude on this situation here, it's a very strange creature. Some think that it might be like a virus that goes and stings people, or we don't know exactly what it's going to be. Obviously, until it happens, then people will realize exactly what it meant. But I think the worst part of this is that people will literally seek death, and death will flee from them. Okay, that's how horrible it's going to be. Those days shall men seek death and shall not find it. and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. It's just going to be a horrible first woe, which is the fifth trumpet. God bless you.